Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully, unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Colin?
and Cadence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hi, everybody. It's Colin.
Hi, it's Cadence.
And I'm Mandie. You guys got to introduce me.
I know. I thought we should introduce her. She's just one of us now. Yes, we have a very special guest today, Mandie. She was with us for
Holiday in Handcuffs.
Yeah, we had her as a special guest. Yeah, like years ago when we very first started this whole endeavor, we did a holiday special, and she was our special guest star for that. Very sweet, tender love story of a woman who kidnaps someone from a restaurant.
It's the most batshit movie, for real. And the best part is her hair. Just the whole thing is her hair.
I love it.
Everything
Yeah,
about
her
it is
perm.
a Christmas miracle.
Likes it when they kiss. Remember I kept making the joke about, when are they going to kiss?
Yes, it's haunting
and
me.
and we named her vibrator Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, no.
I forgot about that. Mine is named that too, though, so don't feel bad. Today we're continuing our childhood movies that kind of maybe caused us a little bit of trauma.
Right.
And today we're doing, this one's actually, I was talking with Mandie and you about it. This is kind of like a beloved movie.
It's so beloved.
For sure. Yeah, so I wanted to give a disclaimer because I honestly don't remember much about this movie from my childhood. I remember like the luck dragon. I remember like the big things, but nothing about the story. So as I was watching it, I was like, this is so intense. And it's pretty serious in its themes. And I understand why people love it. So the disclaimer should be, like, we get it. People love it. It's a great movie. We love it too.
We love it
just
too.
like Last Unicorn, all those things. However, we're just going to be riffing on how terrifying it can be for a child. Just like Last Unicorn was like the concept of death and being an immortal body. That's a lot for a little kid. If you watch it
back when you're an adult, it has a totally different style because you've lived through so much.
Oh my gosh.
You've seen it all.
One more disclaimer. I tried watching the end of this movie 1,700 times, so it literally is a never-ending story. I've just had it on loop trying to figure out the end.
She has.
First, I took notes, then I fell asleep. Then the last half, I just can't get through it. But I get it. I get the gist.
You're like, I get the whole idea.
And the funny thing, she was driving in the car yesterday with Alex, and because she had watched it yesterday while I was here, and she was just like saying like little things, and Alex was like, because it's a German author and a German everything.
He's read the books.
He's read the books. And he was just like, so she was making jokes like, why does the dragon look like a dog? And he's like, well, we call it a doggo in German, and he's actually not a dog. He's a pearl dragon, and he's supposed to. And I was like, okay.
And Chinese dragons look like dogs and all this stuff.
Just
and he
defending
was, everything. He was just, it was getting personal, and I was like, oh no. But
of course, Alex has read the books.
If you could stop besmirching the name of the Neverending Story, that would be great.
Yeah, I did not know that, though.
Madder and madder.
It's German author, I guess, and it's a book series, which I had no idea. It's the only imaginative things Germans have ever done.
They're so proud of it.
The only imaginative.
So one time, this guy, he had an imagination.
I know. They have to teach kids about having an imagination and just not doing.
They meet the one guy who chose not to go dig holes at the beach.
Right. Stop digging holes at the beach and try to have an imagination, guys. So it's Neverending Story, and it was made in like 1980s.
85.
85. Good year. We'll just walk you through the plot. It's a very...
There's a second one?
Yeah, I didn't...
Actually, 84. I was wrong. Sorry.
There is a second one. There's a Neverending Story 2.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't think it did
not know
near as
that.
well as Neverending Story 1.
Is it like when Home Alone did Home Alone 3, you know, it was like a weird one, different cast, weird kids.
Home Alone just kept going and
You
going
know,
and going.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's that situation.
So we'll give you a really quick overview. It's like, I was telling Mandie, it's like all of these 80s like glam fantasies. It's like very similar to what we just did with Legend, except for instead of the darkness, it's the nothingness. But same concept.
Right. Well, but also, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm obsessed with Legend now. Like, I've been talking about it since we watched it.
Oh, it hit a chord with you. You love
Because,
it.
like, I love it so much. And every time I think about the darkness with his fingernails and him just being like,
I was telling Mandie
hey,
how
girl,
he's so
like,
sexy.
I can't handle it. I love it. So I was like, I much prefer the sassy darkness to the terrifying nothingness of that dog in the cave.
Oh,
that dog.
The dog in the cave. Talk about childhood trauma. That guy was scary.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying is there something struck a chord with me in Legend where I just felt like connected
Tom
to the
Cruise,
whole
you
thing.
love young Tom Cruise.
I've not seen Legends. I'm going to have to watch it.
Okay, Neverending Story. Let's give you a little summary real quick.
All right, so the basic summary of this movie, which I'm sure we all are familiar with, is there's a little boy named Bastian, and his mother has sadly passed away, and his dad is emotionally unavailable.
Poor Bastian.
Poor Bastian. And so he gets wrapped up in a book, and he realizes as he's reading it that he becomes part of the story of Fantasia. And in the story of Fantasia, there's a boy named Atreyu who's on a quest to save the land. And that's what the movie's about.
From the nothing that's taking over.
Right.
And
well,
we'll talk about it at the end, but
the implication is from the nothing.
in Alex's defense, he brought up a lot of good points about the movie that I never considered before.
Oh my gosh.
We'll review it at the end, but there was
really
a lot of
did.
things where we were like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
There was also a lot of grown-up themes in this movie that I was like, oh, this is really symbolic or like a metaphor for a lot that I don't think I ever picked up on a kid because you just don't know that kind of stuff when you're little.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Watching it again as an adult and knowing what you know, you're just like, whoa, this is too deep.
We just learned full life lessons from watching this. We're just changes our
we
lives.
Did. That's how
So
Katie feels about
true.
Legend. She's still.
You have to use your imagination.
Well,
you gotta
that
read books.
I didn't.
This is
I didn't learn
what
any
Katie
life
being affected by
lessons from-
Legend. She was so influenced by it.
It was
my
more like, I just feel like everyone should always be as confident and sassy as the darkness. That's all I'm saying.
Are
The
you
Big
horny
D
for the
has got
darkness?
it going on.
He is called the Big D.
The Big D.
That's darkness,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Now
all
I
of
gotta
his-
see this movie.
You would
And all those little servants are just like, hey, Big D. Like, they're like little hobbit people, and they love him so
And all he does is sit
much.
around in the darkness and go like, ugh, life is so awful. I don't have anybody to share my darkness with. And he talks with this very like,
Yes.
oh, it's so good. We have to show you a clip.
Just watch it.
So we start off the movie with Bastian. And like Caden said, poor guy, doesn't have a mom, dad emotionally unavailable. Talk about relatable, right?
Just have a good 80s movie starts. Mom's dead. Let's go.
You really got to set the scene. And he is kind of bullied at school too. He's just kind of one of those outsider kids.
I just want to I just need to point out that when his dad sits him down and is like,
We can't let Mom's death be an excuse for not getting the old job done, right?
God, I'm real sad that Mom died too, but like, we got to get the job done. Am I right? And I'm like,
I know.
what's the
that makes sense. It's a
job?
German author.
Yes.
Is the job life? Is it the job of life that we have to get done? Like, what's the job?
He's already meant to be an adult, right?
Like, sir, your kid is getting bullied. He can't put the butter on his bread. It's busting through. He's getting thrown in trash bags, and you're just like, oh,
Suck it up, get back to work.
suck it up, buttercup.
And he sits down and he's like,
I think it's time you and I had a little talk. I got a call from your math teacher yesterday. She says that you were drawing horses in your math book.
Unicorns. They're a unicorn.
She also says that you haven't been turning in your homework on time. I'm very disappointed that you didn't even try out for the swimming team. As to those writing lessons you wanted, you You say you love horses, yet you seem to be afraid to get on a real one. Bastian, you're old enough to get your head down out of the clouds and start keeping both feet on the ground, right? Stop daydreaming. Start facing your problems, okay? I think we've had a nice talk. We should have more. You have a good day, son. Don't be late for school again.
He sits down. He's like, you didn't join the swim team. You're drawing unicorns all over your math homework. Your mom's dead and you're still moping around the house. I'm super disappointed. And then he's like, but I'm glad we had this talk. We should do it more often. Bye.
So we already established Bastian is a sad little guy.
Is it Sebastian?
I think it's Bastian.
Or are you just
Bastian.
saying
It's just
Bastian?
Bastian.
It's just Bastian.
Okay.
He's cool.
He's cool. His name, they call him Bash.
Hey, Bash.
Just kidding. They don't, but I would. So that morning, after that heart-to-heart talk with his dad, on his way to school, he gets bullied.
Weirdo. Got any cash for us today? Get up! Yeah! Get away, you jerk! We're gonna get you! Where's your money, man? I don't have any! No money? Mama's boys holding out on us. If you ain't got no money on you, you're going in the garbage can. No! Yeah! All right!
For some reason, in 80s movies, like the bullies were brutal. And I'm like, did every
brutal.
Did every
Awful.
kid in the 80s, like I lived through, I mean, I was little, but of course I lived through it. I didn't see people getting thrown in trash cans and stuff. But in every 80s movie, they are just like, it is rough.
So Bastian is on the way to school. He gets bullied and he sees this
Right.
magical bookstore, right?
Yeah, he takes
Love
he
the
takes
magical
shelter in the bookstore. So he's like, I gotta escape my bullies. There's this cranky old man who's like, what the fuck are you doing in my
bookstore.
bookstore?
The crankiest old man.
So mad.
Get out of here! I don't like kids. Are you still here? Did you hear what I said, boy?
I was so...
You're hiding, aren't you?
No, I was just...
The video arcade is down the street. Here we just sell small rectangular objects. They're called books. Require a little effort on your part and make no beep 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 beeps. On your way, please.
This is something called books. You kids don't even know about books. You're just playing video games, but these are books.
And Bastian's like,
he's
dude,
just-
did you just see me get
Yeah.
bullied outside? Like, show some sympathy,
He's like,
dude.
I don't need to come in here and get bullied by a cranky old guy in a bookstore. I really don't need heaping on right now, okay, bud? Well, so then Bastian's like, I don't know if you know this, but I also have books. And he starts listing all the books.
I know books. I have 186 of them at home. No, I've read Treasure Island, The Last of the Mohicans, Wizard of Oz, Lord of the Rings, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Tarzan.
So that's when the grumpy old guy's like, okay, fine. I won't be an asshole to you. Come in.
But I do have one book that you shouldn't
Mhm.
take.
What's that book about?
Oh, this is something special. Look, your books are safe. By reading them, you get to become Tarzan or Robinson Crusoe.
But that's what I like about him.
Ah, but afterwards you get to be a little boy again.
What do you mean?
Don't you dare take this book.
Don't you dare take this book right in
Yeah,
front of
don't
me.
you dare. I'm going to walk
He does
away.
the most reverse psychology.
I know. He puts it on there right in front of him. This is the best book in the world. You'll never be able to read it, but don't you take it. I'm going to go upstairs. Bastian,
I'll be right
Don't
back,
you
and I'll
take it.
probably forget
You-
about it.
You can't handle this. It's
I like what
too
you did there.
much.
and of course, Bastian takes it. He's like, sucka, takes it instantly, runs to the school. And this is what Mandie
But
was saying.
hold on. The guy gives him the warning.
The ones you read are safe.
And that one isn't?
Don't worry about it.
The reason you can't handle this book is because you become part of the book and then you can't escape it. And it's scary. And in all the books you read, you get to be a hero. But what if in a book you got trapped and you weren't the hero? That'd be pretty scary, right?
He
And
says
so,
that?
yeah.
Oh, missed
So-
that part.
He was
Mhm,
grumpy.
so he
says
gives
it really
him-
grumpily too, so you probably didn't know because you're concentrating on why is this guy so angry.
Yeah.
So he does give
Right.
Bastian a little
So
warning. But of
then
course, it's
he
the reverse
says-
psychology because, of course,
Mhm.
Bastian's like, give me that damn book. Get that book in my hands.
Oh, once he says it, that's just like crack cocaine to Bastian. He's
I
like, oh my
know.
God, I got to get my hands on that book. So when the phone rings, he grabs it, runs out the door. But then the guy, the old man, puts down the phone, looks out the door, and gives a knowing smile like, yep, Plan worked.
My
He stole
reverse
that book
psychology worked. That little bitch
just
took
like
that
I
book.
said he would.
And then he's running with the book. Put the book in your freaking backpack. It's the heaviest, biggest book. He
It's
just
huge.
stuffs it under his shirt. He's running for
He's got a beautiful
days.
backpack here that's perfect for the book.
There's nothing in it. It's perfect size. He could,
Put it
His
in your
whole
shirt.
it's just a big square in his sweatshirt. Nope, I didn't take anything.
Bastion's not the
I
smartest.
didn't steal a big
He's
book.
not the smartest tool in the shed. But then, like Mandie says, Bastion goes to this school where this part was really interesting to me because I don't know this school's layout, but he just finds that key, this random key in a
it's
freaking lockbox or something, breaks it open. And then he finds the most magical attic. And in the attic, there's skulls and candles. And I'm like, where the hell school is this?
I know it's like the most like Goonies, like layered, like so magical 80s.
I'm like, what is this school?
Yeah, that was 100%. All my notes were like, the school looks totally normal, like a normal 80s school. But then the key for some reason is in a glass box, the key to the attic. And he steals it, and then he goes in the attic, and it's like a different building altogether.
How does he even know
It's
where the key
wood.
is? How does he know where the attic is?
Well, the key box was broken too. And he shows up. There's no adults there. Nobody
Nothing.
cares
Nope.
that he's missing from
Nope.
school. Again, dad doesn't care. And they're taking a test. So he's like, I'm going to go read this book in my secret attic, and then the key box is broken.
Yeah.
Like it had like a little case over it.
Yeah, it was like
didn't
a glass case.
Yes,
yeah.
it was like a fire alarm situation, but with one key.
Maybe this is his little secret. It's his little secret getaway space. His little secret.
Maybe so.
space
Maybe it's
for him.
implying that because it's broken, that's where he goes
Yeah,
sometimes.
he goes to just read. But I did think it was really funny how there was a human skull back in the background.
Yes, there's a whole skeleton.
The janitor just kills so many things and throws them up
And
there.
there's a bunch of taxidermied animals.
Yeah.
There's so much taxidermy in the attic of the school that I'm like, who's taxiderming animals?
You don't know what school he goes to.
How would you have ever needed this?
You don't know anything about his life, Bastion's life. He might go to a really cool school where they just taxidermy
Maybe
school.
Maybe so. But either way,
He gets real
yeah.
comfy on his little belly, opens up that book. He's
because he
dying
drags
to
out
get
like
in
an
that
old
book.
wrestling gym mat that's just covered in dust. He's like, this looks comfortable.
Full on his stomach. He's like, I'm going to read this book. This old man, he's going to be so wrong. And this is where we get into the story. This is where the story starts.
It was midnight in the howling forest. The wind whistled through the tops of the ancient trees. Suddenly, something enormous crashed and rumbled through the eerie woods.
Sebastian pulls open this book, and now we get transported into the world of what's the name of the world?
Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Yeah.
And we meet some really kooky characters right in the beginning. They're like an assembly of people from all over the world of Fantasia. There's like the guy did you notice that he was the guy from Willy Wonka?
Yeah, his name's Deep Roy. He's like a famous actor.
Yeah, he's in so many movies. I did not know he was in this. So it's him.
Yeah,
and
so
then
he's a little character named Teeny Weeny. There's like a little guy named Nighthawk who's kind of like a troll / hobbit
Perv. He's the
situation.
perv.
He's my favorite. I'm
Mandy
going to be him
loves
for
him.
Halloween. And I love his sleepy little bat. The bat does not care about
Oh,
anything.
the bat's
so
my
tired.
favorite. The bat the whole time doesn't give a fuck.
There's also like an underlying disdain for the bat by others. Because like even when Nighthawk's flying his bat away and he's like,
And nobody gives a hoot about me and my stupid bat.
no one care about me and my bat. And then at the end, someone makes a comment about the stupid bat. And I'm like, why do we hate the bat? What happened? I want to know the
getting introduced to
backstory.
this world where there is a lot of racism against bats.
There is a
Speciesism.
species.
But the snail is
against
really
the bat.
taken care of. He's just feeding him,
yeah.
hugging him, protecting
Yes.
him. I love that little
It's
snail.
true. The snail is really cool.
Yeah.
He's a racing snail.
He's a racing snail. Yeah, this is a magical world. A snail that races. Now I've seen everything.
Tell me more.
So they're all sitting around a campfire, and all of a sudden, this huge freaking rumbling. I think it's like a rock motorcycle, like a rock cycle. comes
I
I
up.
thought it
just
was like a
imagine he
steamroller.
was pedaling little
Yeah,
pedals.
I think too. Like it was a
Because
tricycle.
I don't know how it was working. There was just a big wheel, but I just was imagining little baby rock feet
Yeah, but
pedaling his little heart
I think
out.
that's what he was doing. He had to have been. It was like a tricycle.
I thought in my mind he was pushing like a steamroller, but now I'm thinking it probably was a mode of transportation.
No, he was definitely using it as a tricycle. It's a big rock guy, you
Yeah.
guys. He's giant. He pulls up to the party and he's like,
Excuse me. Would it be all right this evening. You see, I've been traveling all day.
What are you all doing? Do you mind if I join? Can I eat some rocks on top of you and have all the rocks fall on you and potentially kill you and your pets?
They won't get out of the way. Just get out of the way when he's eating those rocks.
Nope.
They're falling on him.
They stand their ground.
I know. And they're just like, oh, crap, what do we do?
And then the really pervy one, he's like, if this guy's eating rocks, I'm going to eat some sticks.
Oh, he loves sticks. The grossest part, though, he has his little long fingernail. He's digging into the stick, and then he's just licking it with his little lips.
Does anyone else feel confused by the fact that there are numerous times that some species come in contact with other species and they're like, what the fuck is this? But I'm like, you guys all live in the same land and you are consistently surprised by the thing that's always around the corner. Like you're like, what? I didn't know that existed. They're like freaked
Well, it's a fantasy
out
land.
all
Maybe
the time.
Who are we to say how big this land is? What if there's like
That's
far off
true.
creatures from a different land?
But I do have to
No,
say,
you're
when they
right.
go to like the council, it's so many scary people, so many different kinds.
So many different species. There's new ones popping up every
ones
day in
popping up.
Fantasia. New ones popping up every day.
So the little hodgepodge of people, right? They're having their cookout. The big rock guy comes. They're surprised and scared, but he's like,
Where I come from in the north, we used to have exquisite gourmet rocks. Only now, they're all gone. Near my home, there used to be a beautiful lake. But then it was gone. It just wasn't there anymore. Nothing was there anymore. Not even a dried up lake.
listen, I'm just trying to get to the White Tower like everybody else. My whole lake disappeared. The nothingness is taking over. And they're like, oh, the nothingness. So that's what unites them.
My people are sending me to the ivory tower, to the Empress for help.
We are the same. We are on the same mission. After all, if the Empress can't save us, who could?
Then why are we all just sitting around here, instead of taking off for the ivory tower?
Right! What are we waiting for?
The nothingness took over our land too. So they all get to the tower for the town meeting because they're like, Empress.
The world meeting. There's
The
so
world.
many. That's where Mandie was saying
world
so many different
meeting.
species.
Yes.
The big head people, they were just giant heads.
Yes.
How do
they
you
were literally
process
floating
food?
heads.
That one freaked me out. Two-Face. And
Yes.
then there was just kids in costumes.
Oh, I know, the kid in the butterfly costume. His mom made that, and he was just in the background. They stuck him in a butterfly costume.
They're like, go in. You got this. No one will tell.
And I'm pretty sure I saw a seal somewhere in there. I think I saw a seal.
So they get there, and that's when the spokesperson for the Empress comes out, and he's like,
Friends, I know why you are all here. The nothing is destroying our world. I also know that you have come to beseech the Empress for help. But I have terrible news. The Empress herself has become deathly ill. There seems to be a mysterious link between her illness and the nothing.
I know you're all here to see the Empress because you're totally scared of the nothingness. That's all valid. However, now that you're here, it's a good time to tell you the Empress is dying. I'm so sorry for the bad news.
Yeah, you're right.
I know, you guys all came because she's your only
Also-
hope, but she's dying.
She's gonna die. Sorry.
Sorry, we can't reimburse you for your tickets.
Then he goes on to say, we have a backup plan. The backup plan is we found this person from the tribe that hunts the pink buffalo, or
Purple.
purple buffalo.
Purple, don't you dare say
And
pink.
I know I said pink and I was immediately like, oh, that was a bad move on my part. So he says, we sent a messenger, and then all of a sudden the crowd parts.
I'm sorry, but this is not the time and place for children. I must ask you to leave.
If you don't want me here, you shouldn't have sent for me.
Is he in the case?
It was not you we sent for. We wanted to betray you.
I am a trade.
Not Atreyu the child, Atreyu the warrior.
I'm the only Atreyu of the Plains people. But I'll be happy to go back hunting the purple buffalo.
No, wait.
Hey, I heard someone called for Atreyu.
Nope. Listen, though. This is what I noticed. There was a little break where you would go back into the real world with Bastion. And Bastion's like, okay, I gotta know what's happened in this book. He gets comfy. He starts being like, let's light some candles. He makes it him space, right?
Yeah, because there's
And
tons of candles in that attic, just randomly.
So many. And he goes to his backpack, the giant one that he did not put the book in. And on it is one of the horses that he drew. And on the horse is like Native American style person on the back of it. And so he, in that moment.
It's like a subconscious.
Imagine this.
He imagined Atreyu.
It
and that's
was
why they were all
Atreyu,
like,
and it was a buffalo
Yeah,
hunting a buffalo.
it was.
And he was like, oh, Atreyu.
yeah. And that was how Atreyu. Then you go back to the world where they're all at the palace. And that's when you see Atreyu.
See.
And he's like,
I see.
hey, bitches, I'm here. And they're like, you're a kid. What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, they're like, we're looking for the grown-up Atreyu. And he's like, guys, there's one Atreyu, and it's me.
And my hair is beautiful. Trust me. Look at my locks. His
Yes.
hair, Atreyu's hair.
He just like lets it blow in the
bouncy,
wind
shiny,
for a second.
Beautiful. Loved Atreyu's hair.
And I love how they all laugh at him. They're just like, oh, you're a child. And then 2 seconds later, they're all 100% on board. Like,
No one else wants to do it. They're like, you know what?
Because like, yeah, they're like, you're a kid, and he literally is like, okay, so fine, I can leave. Like, do you or do you not want me
And
to
they're
go
like,
on
no,
this
no, no, no,
quest?
no, 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 no,
And they're
no,
like,
stop,
no,
stop,
no,
not
no,
so
no,
fast.
we need you to.
Go do it. Go do it.
It's really fast. It's a real fast turnaround.
If you really are the Atreyu we sent for, you would be willing to go on a quest?
So instantly we start Atreyu's journey to go find how to stop this freaking nothingness from taking over.
They give him the Arin.
Take this. He who wears the Orin speaks for the Empress. It will guide and protect you.
And then they're like, have fun on your quest.
Bye.
they also say you cannot bring any weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Don't pack anything. Just take your horse. Don't even have a jacket. He's cold.
No
you know?
food, no weapons, no clothes, nothing to get you through this. And what's the stipulation?
But you do get this necklace.
When their world is literally being destroyed, what would taking weapons have
I don't
anything to
know.
do?
And the guy said it's going to be extremely dangerous. Bye.
Bye, get out, bye.
But you get a necklace.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah. Bye.
After
Yeah.
the
But you
necklace.
get this necklace.
Here, bye. And then they all cheer him on. They're like, Atreyu's, they're like, man, now. They're all clapping for him. After like 2 seconds ago, they were so ragging on him.
He's like, I guess I'm on this quest.
Take care.
So now we are on our adventure. He just travels around aimlessly for weeks, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to go see Morla the turtle, right?
He's like, I've been wandering around for weeks with my horse Artax. I've got no clothes, no food, no weapons.
It's just him and his horse. So he's basically in this mud, right, with this horse, going to see the turtle.
How does he even figure out the turtle? Like, how does he know he's supposed to go see that damn turtle?
I missed that
Yeah.
part,
Me
but
too.
basically he's sacrificing his freaking life to go there because he's in the mud. The horse is getting stuck.
Oh.
Horse
He
is
has
getting
to
stuck,
go-
horse is getting stuck. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, the mud is just rising up slowly. The horse isn't moving at all. It's just stoic. And he's just like pulling on the horse's, reins, trying to get him out, screaming, crying. It was the saddest thing ever.
You guys, this is the part that traumatized, I think, most kids, for sure.
Yeah, they have to, for some reason, in order to get to Morla, they have to go through the swamp of sadness.
Oh, I didn't know
And-
it's called the Swamp of
It's
Sadness.
called the Swamp of Sadness.
Somewhere in the deadly swamps of sadness.
Why
Yes,
do you have
it's
to go
called
through
the
that?
swamp.
Take a different route.
Of
'Cause that's what
sadness.
Mor-
And so
Oh, Morla.
Morla,
Yeah.
she's in the
She's
swamp.
pure emo. Morla's
she's
the
like on
emo-ist.
she's on like the far side of the swamp of sadness, I guess.
I
And
didn't know
so
it was called the Swamp of Sadness. That makes a lot
That
of sense
makes
now.
sense.
Artax starts kind of sinking, and Atreyu's like, I get it, dude. It's hard. Like,
We're
we
in the
can
Swamp
keep
of Sadness. We're in the SS.
It's so sad.
Artax
He's
does not-
screaming.
Artax does not care at all. He's like, I've made my mind. Let me just die here in the mud.
Oh my gosh.
Atreyu, we've
yes.
been wandering around for freaking weeks. You don't have any food. You don't have any weapons. You don't know even who you're looking for. You're talking about this turtle.
I didn't ask to
I'm
come
done.
on this
I didn't
quest.
ask to come here, right? I'm done. He just sits there and he's like, bye. And he just slowly
I've
sinks.
lived a good horse life.
He's slowly scenes
And
with-
Atreyu's like, come on, Artax. And Artax's like, nope, not going to move a muscle, sink in here until I die.
Also, somebody said that the old edit showed the horse completely, his whole face getting covered in the mud. 10,000 times more traumatizing.
That
How
would've
did they
been-
film that? People, there's no CGI. But like, I think they cut it out.
How would they have heard? Like the horse would have been. That's where my brain's at. It's like there were animal protection laws at that point, but how do you film a horse going under mud? Even as it was already high, and I'm like, is that safe for the horse? I couldn't quite figure
remember-
out the logistics.
Do you remember a movie?
Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken,
Is
where
that the
they
one where the
dive.
horses? No,
I
is that the where
love
the
Wild Hearts
horses
Can Be
jump
Broken.
off into the water?
Yes,
That's Wild Heart, and she goes
Yes.
blind.
Is it?
Oh, I
Yes.
love
How
that
do I
movie.
barely remember? All I
I
remember
watched
is like
that
the
movie
guys.
so many times.
It's like they jump off into like a pool or something.
Yes.
They used to dive horses. It was like a traveling show, and they used to do that.
I love that show.
You
as
guys
a
are
kid.
so
Isn't that
passionate about
weird?
this. Mandy's face is passionate.
Oh no, I
Oh, I
loved Wild Horse Can Be
love that
Broken.
movie.
I was thinking at first that you guys wouldn't
Loved it.
remember because I vaguely remember just a little bit about it. I just was thinking like it was a water horse. Like he would jump off like a diving
my
board
she has
into
to
a pool.
Tilt her little head, and she didn't tilt it right.
It's coming
Remember?
back
And
to
she had her,
me.
Blind.
because the horse gets startled, and so it jumps off before she's
Oh,
ready, and
that's
so her eyes
right.
are open when she hits the
Oh,
water,
you guys,
and so she
it's
goes
bringing
blind.
back memories a little bit.
So she has to learn how to like ride the horse, mount the horse, blind.
what
Wild
year was
Horse.
this made? Was this like 80s?
1991.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny that you know that movie because I was taking a shot in the dark because I was like, I have this vague memory, but now that you're describing it, it's all coming back to me, Celine Dion style. I
And it's
remember
the
just
hot guy from 16 Candles is the lead.
the guy, the cool guy.
But yeah, every time I could get my hands on that movie, I watched it. I
It's so
was
funny.
obsessed
We should
with
watch
it.
that. Okay,
Okay,
so
so-
we're back to the story.
Wild Hearts Can Be Broken. Going back to the horse dies.
The horse
Animal
dies.
cruelty in
Horses
movies.
It was very traumatic though. Even watching it now, it's the saddest. I don't know what they were thinking. And I don't think there was a kid out there that even if you were a bully, you would still get
Even-
sad.
Bash was
Yeah.
traumatized. Bash was crying his little Bash eyes out.
Yes, oh Bash. We get to see a real
Yeah.
emotional moment from Bastion. He's just like, this book is getting to
Yeah.
me. This old man warned
Yeah.
me. He warned me, but now I know why.
Yeah.
He told me not to take this book, and I took it.
Atreyu just has to go on without his horse. He's trying to
Right.
find Morla, the turtle, right? She's
Right.
100 billion years old. And she
Yes.
is, I was telling Mandy when we were watching it, I was like, she's so emo. She does not
She's
care
such
about
a
even caring.
bitch,
She is
Morla.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Morla.
This is another one of those things, right? Where like it's clear, they say she's been around for thousands of years. Still, Atreyu's surprised she exists, and I'm like, okay, then I just don't understand how everyone's constantly surprised by creatures in this world.
She's literally been around since the beginning of time. And he's like, what are you doing here?
I didn't know there was a giant turtle on the other side of the Gulf of Sadness. I didn't know that.
The
No
Gulf
one
of
told me.
Sadness now. I thought it was
Oh,
a swamp
of Sadness.
Now you're just changing the.
The Gulf of
It's getting
America.
bigger and bigger.
Just changing things.
That's true. Now it's the Gulf of Sadness, not the Gulf of America.
Yes.
No politics.
Oh, crap.
Turn it off. You were going to say something about Morla.
She also was like,
We haven't spoken to anyone else for thousands of years. So we started talking to ourselves.
I haven't talked to anyone in thousands of years, so now we just
Yes.
talk to ourselves. You know? I
Oh.
just love that.
You kind of connected with that a
Yeah.
little bit.
She prefaces everything with,
Not that it matters.
not that it matters.
I
but-
know.
I know. She's emo. He's like,
If you don't tell me and then nothing keeps coming, you'll die too. Both of you.
Die? That at least would be something.
dying would at least be something.
I know. She does.
She's like, dying will be something. I'm like, Morla, you're hardcore, dude.
Yeah, she's turned into her own BFF. They talk to each other. And that's like part of the question I'm asking is she's been around for thousands of years. She has not talked to someone in so long. She has split her own personality. Where is everyone? Why is no one passing through?
It's the swamp
Because
of
this is
sadness,
Swamp of
dude.
Babies.
Sadness where your horse and your best friends
Who's gonna-
die in the mud.
No one wants to go to the swamp of sadness.
I guess. It just feels like thousands of years, not one person's
Not
passed
one
through.
person.
Like,
And how did he
it's
find
a
her?
long time.
I know. And
That
there's-
was a shot in the dark.
Yeah, it was a shot in the dark.
Because that was like a little mound and then popped up.
Yeah, because he was walking
Yeah.
looking for her, and then he was walking on her. So it was total. How did she feel him with her hard shell too? Does she feel his little baby feet?
Not that it matters.
Not that it
Not
matters.
that it matters.
matters. At this point,
he's begging her for information. He's like,
yes,
please tell
he
me. And she's
is
just like,
dying,
nothing
and she's not
matters.
giving a
Why
fuck.
are you even talking to me?
She says,
We don't even care whether or not we care.
I don't even care that I don't even care.
That's the best.
That's the
baller.
best one.
Freaking baller.
Yeah.
She's just sneezing on him, and he's just like, that person's gonna die. She's like, I don't care.
She
Go
really
away.
is. She's over it.
She goes, I'm allergic to youth. You're really getting on my nerves. That's why I keep sneezing.
Yeah, she's
So you
really
need to
timid.
get out of my space right now. Please go away. Nothing matters. You're going to need to go see the Southern Oracle. And he's like, well, where's that? And she's like, bad news. Not that it
10,000 miles
matters,
away.
but it's 10,000 miles away.
But that's so far. That's right. Forget it. Goodbye.
And she's like, well, it doesn't matter. So you may as well just give up anyway.
But at this point, we're learning that there's also the evil wolf creature, which is, what's his name?
Gamork.
Gamork? Yeah.
Yes.
So while he's talking to this Morla turtle, Gamork, which is basically the physical incarnation of the darkness, he's this
The nothing.
terrifying wolf
Yeah.
thing. You only ever see his eyes and his teeth, and he's terrifying. Talk about trauma. And so
Yeah.
he's already smelling Atreyu. He's like on him.
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
on the
this guy
trail.
is trying to save the nothingness. It's going to happen. So after that conversation, Morla does kind of give him a little bit of info finally. After being such a bitch for 2 hours, she goes, go to the oracles. So he's like, okay. So he's going, and then Swamp of Sadness gets him.
Swamp of Sadness gets who?
Atreyu, he falls into the mud and he starts sinking, and then Gamork's trying to get him. That's when the Pearl Dragon picks him up.
Oh, I totally
Saved him.
forgot. For some reason, I blocked out that part. But yes, you're right. And then we cut back. I just want to make a quick note that we cut back to Bastion in the school because it's a flash to him in the school. He walks out of the attic, looks around. The janitors are all there closing up shop, locking the doors, turning off the lights. And then he's like, cool. And then he just walks back up and he's locked in the
dad
school
is
overnight.
disconnected. You would think that maybe he cared where his freaking son was. And you would
Call
think that
in the
maybe they
school?
do a walkthrough of the school. No one
Nope,
ever
no one goes
in
to
the
that attic.
And he's
Well, the key's locked up.
At this point, Bastion's made it like a freaking breakfast club. He's got candles. He's got apples. He's got sandwiches. He's got blankets. He's got a mist machine. He's got a diffuser. He's just made it the most zen little. He lives there now.
He's got everything
Yeah.
but parents.
Oh,
Nobody cares about him.
nobody cares about poor our Bastion.
Because there's even like a beautiful like shuttered window in the attic that opens up that you can just like go sit in the window and read. Like it's where I just want to get a visual of how this school is built. That's the attic.
I know it's a beautiful attic. It's my dream attic.
Mhm.
I want my
Yeah,
attic to
it's
look like that.
confusing. All right, that's all I wanted to say. He gets locked down the school and no one cares.
All right, so Atreyu's just had a shitty time. His freaking horse is dead. This bitchy emo turtle is not giving him any information. He's got no food, no clothes, no weapon. And he's got Gamork after him, which is literally the physical representation of nothingness. So, Atreyu...
The Empress is dying. And
He's got a lot on his
coming.
shoulders.
He's got a lot on his plate. He's going to save the world.
He's got a lot on his plate right now. Poor little Atreyu.
And Bastion is probably so sad, stressed out. And there's a storm. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And he stays at school.
So in real life, in Bastion's world, in the real world, there is a freaking hurricane coming. And he's like, better hunker down.
Better hunker down. Dad's not going to look for me. It's nighttime. I'm staying
There's no
in.
glass on the window. It's also completely just wooden shutters that blow open. Doesn't bother him at all.
Nope.
Got those candles burning. He's fine.
He's engrossed in the
He's
story.
safe.
He can't get out of it.
Also, this book is an encyclopedia. He is ripping through this book. This kid cannot
man.
read this book in 6 hours. I don't know. How long is he there? Just time stop? I don't know.
Lots of questions about Bastion's
It
world.
could be like days at this point. We don't know.
I know his dad's not looking for him, and he had food
Nope.
and water, so he
Yeah,
could be up there
he's
for a
good.
while. And the old man at the bookstore is probably just like, I bet that kid's dead.
I know. Actually, he probably enjoys
"Hey."
that or something. He's just like, ah.
He loves psychologically manipulating kids to
Yeah.
take books so that they die.
Because he was bullied as a kid and he's getting back at the kids.
It's all what it's about. It's all about the old man at the bookstore.
It's just his story, just being like, but that kid's locked in an attic somewhere. Just like I like
this
him.
book, sucker.
Just his whole life plan is to just ruin kids' lives. So in the book, now we're back in Fantasia. And like we said, Atreyu's got a lot on his shoulders. And now I kind of feel bad for him thinking back on it.
Oh.
So much stress.
So sad.
So much stress. And on top of that.
And that not one adult was like, hey, I'll go with you. You know what? That seems like a big quest for a little guy.
They just made fun of him and then they were like, go. Yeah.
Even in Lord of the Rings, Frodo had a whole team, like go on the quest with him, help him.
And there was enough people. We saw 700 different species of people at the palace.
At least they can help him get information, find more little
What about the little butterfly kid? Couldn't he fly next to him and just be like picking him up and taking him places?
Or the big rock guy on his trike. Like they could cover way more ground way faster if he just hops on the rock guy's trike.
Triked right over Morla, broke her shell. No care. Do not care.
She's like, at least I'm feeling something.
But seriously, you're right. Any of those, even the big-headed people, there's so many opportunities, but only one person can do it. Only Atreyu. Don't ask questions. Like we said, he's getting ready to leave the Swamp of Sadness, but he's getting overtaken by the Swamp of Sadness. He's got Gamork over him, lurking around, and eventually the Swamp of Sadness kind of gets to him. He kind of pulls an Artax, and he falls in the mud, and he's like, this is it. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm done. Too much on my shoulders. I'm just going to let the mud take me. And you see Gamork coming after him. He's given up. He's laying in his mud spa just like, take me, mud. Release me from this world.
And fucking quest. Yeah. I just want it to be over.
And you think it is over because his eyes close and you're like, bye. But then later, he wakes up. Where is he?
I wasn't sure if you were going to say he wakes up.
That was the witchiest laugh.
And he's terrified of the dog dragon because it's enormous and scary. And so at first he thinks the dog dragon's like an enemy. And then the dragon's just like,
leaving so soon.
I was just going to. I have to. I was trying to.
Sneak away.
Yeah. I mean, no.
I like children.
For breakfast?
Never. I'm a luck dragon. My name is Falcor.
No, I'm actually your friend. I'm a luck dragon named Falcor.
Well, he's also perfectly clean. He's like, the mud's off his hair's beautiful.
Yes, he's
brushed.
bandaged.
Someone's helped Atreyu in his time of need.
So Falcor, the luck dragon's like,
and you're on a quest.
How'd you know that?
You were unconscious. And you talked in your sleep.
I guess I heard you're on a quest. And he's like, where'd you hear that? And he's like, well, you were unconscious and you talked about it in your sleep. And
I was unconscious. You don't talk in your sleep if you're unconscious.
I know. I was like, he just fully knocked out like, oh man, I can't believe they asked me to go on this quest. I can't believe that they didn't give me any weapons or anything. My horse died on this fucking quest. Like
that's the
just
opposite of
rambling about it.
The opposite of being unconscious is just rambling.
And I know we should love Falcor, but he's kind of creepy looking. We all know that.
Right? I can't handle his scales/fur. That situation gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Beautiful eyelashes, though. Gorgeous eyelashes.
Nothing grossed me out more, though, when he's like,
could you get round and scratch behind my right ear?
Can you itch behind my ear?
Oh,
and then he's just like, loving it. It just grossed me out for some reason.
It does, because
it's just creepy.
Also, Falcor likes to wink. I don't know if you guys picked up on that.
But Falcor loves winking. He's a winkaholic.
Every time he's talking to Atreyu, he's like, I heard you talking in your sleep. I heard you.
Atreyu's like so thrown off. He's like, so did you? What are you trying to, did you? What's the wink for?
What's the wink about?
Am I supposed to do something? Are you okay? Oh, yeah, in my sleep, talking. I get it. But he does. He's a winkaholic. Loves the winking.
He loves winking.
And also, he flew him almost 1,000 miles.
No, he flew him
almost
10,000
miles.
Oh,
9,000. He flew him 9,891 miles. So they're almost to the southern.
And he was out that whole time. No food. How long did that take,
Yeah, he's unconscious on his back. And did Falcor, strap him on his back? Because he was unconscious. How did he stay on his back the whole time?
Just nestled between those scales.
Nestled between
He just
the
lifted
scales.
up his scales, tucked him in.
He just tucked him in there, put a little fur over his toes.
Oh, I love that. Falcor is so, I mean, it's really cool to have a luck dragon. And now I get why he's a luck dragon. He came right in the nick of time.
Right in the nick of time.
He could have done that from the beginning.
He could
All
have.
I'm saying.
He could have. He really could have.
Okay, that's my number one beef with also Lord of the Rings, and it's a similar theme here. If you have the giant fucking eagles that save Frodo at the end, just give the eagles the rings and have them fly and doop, drop them in Mordor. Like, why are we going on the
Mordor will
entire
spot them.
journey?
Do not talk about Lord of the Rings with Mandie. She is a ringhead.
Oh no, a ring
a ring, a ring-a-low.
Mordor for life.
Oh no, Saruman.
You kind of are, though.
I did. I went to New Zealand, went on Lord of the Rings tour by myself, and then I took a rock on the place where Aragorn fell in the river.
I would have actually loved to do that because I've seen those movies a million times for many reasons, but I've always been like, oh man, I would go to New Zealand and take a tour of this any day because I love New Zealand and so I am jealous of that.
Hobbiton.
I'd be a ring-a-low for that. So anyway, that's also my point. It's like if he's a luck dragon, they could have just had him waiting outside the ivory tower and been like, hop on Falcor, he'll take you there. Like you don't even need to go through the swamp, but that's not how it works, I guess.
Woulda, coulda. And he also just took him almost all of the way. Just take him all the way. But I guess he didn't know. He didn't know where he was supposed to go, I guess.
But he also says,
It's good to have a friend again.
You have more than one. Look.
we stopped here because we have some friends. And that's when Atreyu walks over to like a nearby cave.
Mandie's favorite characters.
These are my favorite characters.
So
we mentioned that Atreyu was bandaged and cleaned up, right?
Mhm.
Falcor did not
Right.
do that, right? Falcor just tucked him in his little dog scales, brought him to this place. But the people that we meet next are the ones that cleaned him up, and they are a trip. Possibly husband, wife, possibly brother, sister,
They're
possibly
either brother,
friends.
sister, husband, wife, but they hate each other.
Get out of my light, witch! You're disturbing my scientific work.
You and your scientific work. What the boy needs now is one of my potions.
The boy will need my scientific advice much more.
And he just calls her, you wench!
He just
So
keeps-
many times.
So many wench,
Such
so many
wench. She's eating little worms out of her mouth.
Oh, the worms coming out of the mouth grossed me out.
It's just grossing me out so bad. But
So
I love them.
they're like kind of elves because they have pointy ears.
His little snaggletooth, his one baby
Kind of,
snaggletooth.
yes,
I
they
love
have-
his-
It's a very strange dynamic. He's a scientist. She's like a doctor healer of some kind.
She's the caretaker.
Oh, yeah.
He's the brains and logic. She's the passion and emotion. That's what it is.
Yeah, so it doesn't sort of imply that they're married or have a partnership of some kind, but they do truly hate each other and they fight and bicker nonstop. He calls her a wench,
no
like we
time
talked
for each
about.
other's personal space. They're just like,
Right.
he's literally drawing this beautiful book and she just leans over it and knocks it out of the way to grab her little worms.
Why don't you sit down and be quiet for once?
You keep quiet, wench.
But you know what? I kind
Yeah.
of like it because they got a good balance because they just equally hate each other and they equally don't really get upset. And then it just kind of works.
It does.
You
They have a
know?
good
'Cause
balance.
It's just like, you wench. And she's like, shut up. You
So
know?
she's totally trying to help Atreyu. Like her life goal is to
Right.
help this boy. And the other
Right.
guy wants to help him. The snaggletooth guy, he wants to help
Mhm.
him by teaching him like the science behind what he needs to do.
Right. So he has an observatory on top of his little elf
one
cave.
does.
And he's
Mhm.
like, come with me to this. But guess who has to crank them up the elevator basket?
The observatory. To the witch, wench. Come on, lazy bones. Can't you go any faster?
The wife.
Yes.
Wife and or sister. Wife and or sister.
And he's like, go faster. She's going as fast as she
He
possibly
calls
can.
her
And-
lazy bones. He's like, you lazy bones, wench,
Yes,
pump
lazy
faster. I'm like,
bones.
you're lifting two people
I
up in a
know.
basket. What is your problem? Calm down.
I know because he's
You got no one
they're
else to do
little
this
elves and
job.
Atreyu's a full grown person and she's cranking him
Yeah.
up.
No, Atreyu just
Yeah.
hopped over on the little rocks and climbed up because they're so tiny. So it was.
I didn't catch that.
Yes, it was so good.
Why couldn't he just just pick up the little snaggletooth and
I don't
there's
know.
a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and my favorite thing too is this little scientific elf thing. He goes, "Well, you wouldn't know about me if you don't move in scientific circles." So it's like he has a reputation.
Okay, Buster, cool it. Cool it. You live with your wife and or sister in a cave in the woods. You're not in any scientific circles.
I would love to know what circles you're in, friend, because
I know,
I feel
me
like you're
too.
pretty isolated.
Come on, buddy. Yeah, I know.
Pretty
you're
isolated.
really isolated. You're just yelling at your wench wife to roll you up a hill. Come on.
Slash sister.
Slash sister.
And plus, you never talk to anyone. More or less style. Just they only talk to each other in their little hole.
And that's what I'm saying is like everyone's so isolated. They're always surprised by another thing that pops up. What's keeping them all apart? Like, why have they never had visitors before?
Well, like at the very beginning in the
what's-
tower, they were like, oh, get this guy from the Purple Buffalo Plains. So obviously they know of each other's
Of
existences.
these other things. Yeah, maybe they just don't go
They just
to
never go
them. I
there.
don't know. Don't pass the boundaries.
It just feels like they should have a better system of communication across the
Yeah.
land.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, I
there is
agree.
just
Yes.
nothing
I agree.
established. It is a just wander. Oh, who are you?
Like the Empress should be like, Falcor, you're our messenger
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
send all this news to everybody.
Yes. Get it organized, people.
And can you help me? I'm dying.
yeah.
Can you find something for me to be cured? Thanks.
If you send him up with like, I mean, if he's the luck dragon, he seems like maybe a good choice for that job, but I'm not
I
an empress.
know.
I don't know. But you could also be like, hey, I'll send you up with like a bag of scrolls. And if you could just like periodically
Drop a scroll.
drop them so
Drop a
that
scroll
people
here.
will get some
Bag of
kind of
scrolls.
information.
I know.
That would be helpful. Anything that unifies the message.
There's got to be like talking trees or something, you know?
Yes. And just somewhere along the way, like you can sort of get informed as you go.
Like they all didn't even know the Empress was dying. They all had to meet at the tower to find that out. She should have sent out a royal decree.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hey guys, I'm
Yeah.
dying. A little scroll, they read it. It's like, hey guys, dying, just letting you know.
FYI.
Need some kind of cure. If anyone can find one, that's cool. If not, fine, but dying.
And little did
I
they
know because she's just like, I'll wait till they come to me. They're all coming here anyway. It's fine.
That's so good.
So the guy, the little elf that runs in scientific circles, is really well known. He's obsessed with these oracles, right?
I've been studying the mysteries of the Southern Oracle for years. Someday I'll publish my book. A Century of Studying the Southern Oracle by Professor Engelville, Volume 1, The Early Years.
These oracles, there's two of them. They're stationary. Big old swinging oracle titties. I remember watching that movie and just being like, wow, those are some busty oracles, and I like it.
They're not technically the oracles. They are the sphinx that guard the oracles.
That's very true.
Is that the Southern Oracle? Oh, no. It's the first of the two gates you must pass through before you reach the Southern Oracle and get me the final information for my book. Of course, most people never get that far.
So you have to be able to make it through them. And they are, it's like prominent nipples. They're not even like rounded Barbie boobies.
No, it's full.
They're
big.
giant with full hard nipples.
Love it.
And then every scene possible, they just try to get as much
boob in
Yes.
boob in there as
Much.
possible.
Sphinx boob as they can.
It's from the top sphinx boob, from the bottom sphinx boob, from the
Yes.
side sphinx
From
boob,
from every different
shot of
angle of
nipple
sphinx.
you can
And
get.
I love it. Give me
It's in
more
there.
sphinx boob.
There's one shot where it's just the corner of his face and then boobs. Right? And then I was like,
Just a
okay,
little
they're
nose.
really trying to
Because
get
when I
that
was a
in
kid, I
there.
remember being like, this is scandalous. This is pornography. So angry.
Offensive.
But to get through these two sphinxes, you have to be pure of heart. And basically, to really
Right.
drill that in, the little elf guy makes Atreyu watch a guy get murdered.
Here comes one that looks fancy. Let's see what he really thinks of himself. Look.
It's another traumatizing thing.
Yeah, he's like, here's the telescope. Watch closely. This guy will get burnt to a crisp.
And I love it because Snaggletooth is jonesing out to see him die.
Go on, scaredy cat. Oh, go on.
He's like,
It's my turn. Let me see. I'm the scientist.
He's going on. I think he's gonna make it.
The Sphinx's eyes. Are they open or shut? Let me see.
They're shut. No, wait. Oh. The eyes are opening.
Give me that. I made like remember he was freaking out to give him.
That's all he does all day. That's why he built that.
He's a little. And if I was a Atreyu, I'd be like, something is a little off with this guy. I don't know
he's like,
if I
that's my
believe him.
telescope. Give it to me. I need to watch him die. He's very upset.
I want to see. Is he going to make it? And I'm also thinking the Oracle's busty as hell, but they are very slow to zap people. I mean, I'm figuring you could just run through there because it takes them 45 minutes. Their eyes take 45 minutes to open and laser.
I know it does.
I thought
you had to, like, if you get through, you have Peer of Heart, right? Your Peer of Heart. But it still zaps him.
It has something to do with self-confidence. So the little scientist goes,
It's the first of the 2 gates you must pass through before you reach the Southern Oracle. And get me the final information from my book. Of course, most people never get that far.
by the way, no one survives. But if you do survive, I actually need you to come back here because I've never made it past the Sphinx and I'm finishing up this scientific research paper.
You're not,
and I'm
buddy.
desperately needing this information.
Stop with the scientific research. We all know, buddy. We all know you're not.
He actually is just drawing boobs.
Non-stop boobs.
It was. That's why he's obsessed with it.
He is. He's
like, I've only seen the boobs from this side, and I really need to know what the boobs like
He doesn't care. He's just obsessed with drawing those boobs. Because I'm like, cut the act, buddy. You live in a cave by yourself, and you watch people die from boobs.
He's like, it's science. That's why he has the telescope. He just looks at those boobs up close.
Yes.
Oh.
Time to go look at those boobies. Gotta go up to the observatory.
But Atreyu's none the wiser. At this point, you just got to kind of trust the process. Like, there's
nothing to lose, literally.
You're gonna be like, I guess I trust this snaggletooth, whatever. But I love how he is like, oh, go through it, you'll be fine. But also, I've never seen anyone go through it, they all die. You literally just watch someone die.
So the whole idea is that you need to go through with self-confidence and belief in yourself. And if you start doubting yourself, the Sphinxes can sense it and they will open up their eyes very slowly and methodically, and they will burn you alive.
I would have been shocked so hard. I'd have been like, no, should I go? Am I going too fast? Oh, I'm going too fast. Oh, no. I don't know. Is my hair okay? And I'd have been zapped. Boom.
Atreyu goes down and he's feeling good. He's feeling confident.
He's just happy to get away from that crazy snaggletooth guy. Anywhere but there.
So he starts seeing dead bodies and he's like,
oh, okay. These Sphinxes are really zapping people.
The guy who just got killed and his burned, charred face. And he's like, And that's when he starts having second thoughts. And he's like, I don't know how confident I am at this moment.
Because at this point, that snaggletooth could literally be saying anything. He could be saying, you have to be pure of heart. You have to have like blue eyes. You could say anything.
Yeah.
So the guy could be like, all these bitches are dead. So, it could literally just be anyone who walks through dies.
Yeah. How do they know?
Scientific research.
No one knows.
Because who's returning and reporting back? Because they're
and we all know how information travels in Fantasia, so nobody has ever known.
Or doesn't travel.
Nobody knows anything.
Everyone's like, what, there's oracles?
They're like, it's
Wait,
the
what?
rumor.
There's oracles? Who's protected? Like, everyone's just so blown away. They have big old oracle titties? What? I don't even know.
What is happening?
Someone get a picture of that.
Someone draw a picture. The scientist guy's like, I'm on it. I'm really trying to get one from the other side.
He's got a whole newsletter, Oracle Teats Weekly. He just, it's him, just different. He sends it out to everybody. It's Oracle Teats Weekly, just different angles of
different
boobs.
angles of the nips.
And it just says scientific paper at the bottom.
Getting his PhD.
But really, though, genuinely, in the movie, he really did draw the picture. That was what's in the book.
That's true. He was. He just loves drawing. He's obsessed with those oracles.
So Atreyu, at the last moment, starts feeling a little bit of self-doubt, and then he just books it.
Run, Atreyu! Run, Atreyu!
And by the time he finishes running through, the oracles zap. But guess what? He's past them. Not their problem.
That's what I'm saying. I figured it took them 20 minutes to open their eyes and zap. Just run through. The guy was on a horse. The first guy that died in full knight armor was on a horse. Just run through.
Just go fast.
Their eyes are fully to the side trying to zap. Like all the way to the left. Like, get him!
It's a design flaw if your zaps are stationary. I feel like your zaps should be able to go in any direction at any time.
Yeah, you got to really move your eye as much as you can to one side so you can really zap somebody.
Otherwise, it's easy to avoid.
Maybe once you're there and you're going through the oracles, you're just hypnotized by those boobs.
You're
so you
like,
slow down.
whoa.
You can't run. You're just like, wowzers.
Wow, I can't even see their faces under these guys. Just full motorboat.
I want to honk those bad boys. Honk, honk. So after Atreyu makes it through the first gate of the first oracle, then we cut back to the science guy, and he's like,
You don't understand anything. The worst one is coming up. Next is the magic mirror gate. Atreyu has to face his true self. But kind people find that they are cruel. Brave men discover that they are really cowards. Confronted with their true selves, most men run away screaming.
okay, well, he survived that. But the second gate is the real problematic one because men go crazy. They can't see the duality of themselves, like that they can also be kind and they can be cruel at the same time. They can be smart and they can be dumb and they can be wrong and they can be right. And any man who sees it, they just go crazy.
It could be left, it could be wet, it could be dry.
It could be up, it could be down, it could be square, it could be round.
So the point is, I was bracing for Atreyu to come up to this and be like,
just go,
oh my God, my brain is scrambled right now. I can't handle it. But he literally just steps through the gate. Like there's nothing happens. So I feel like that science was bad and that information was not
because he does. He just
accurate.
walked through willy-nilly. He's just like, I got no duality. I'm a one-trick pony. I am here on a quest. That's all that there is to me. So he goes through these doors. So the second door that makes people crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you explain it, Cadence. You're better at it.
Well, he just basically gets to the oracle.
You must know what can say Fantasia.
Yes, we do.
Well, what is it? I have to know.
The Empress needs a new name.
A new name?
Listen, I'm going to need you to give the Empress a new name. That's the only way that you can say
I went through
the
all
Empress.
of this to give this bitch a new name.
That's all? But that's easy.
I went through, my horse died, turtles, everything. And that's the thing, why didn't the Oracle just send a freaking message? Just send a scroll.
Yeah, this could have been done a lot more efficiently.
The Empress, just get a new name. That's all I gotta do.
Isn't the Oracle there too? Wants to survive? I don't know,
Because that Oracle is also going to disappear. They're not, they're like within the world. So they say the hitch is that this name has to come from a child past the boundaries of Fantasia.
That is deep.
So that's
Bastion comes in.
Child Jesus.
Child Jesus.
Save the world.
That would be a hard thing to do. How do you have no control over that. You have no control if some crazy guy at a bookstore gives your book to some kid to read the book, right? So they're really just wishing on a prayer. Wait, what is it? Wishing on a prayer? Wishing on a prayer. Oh.
Living on a prayer.
Living on a prayer. I knew, I thought wishing sounded.
Wishing on a prayer over here.
Wishing on a prayer. Living on a prayer. Oh.
But I like the idea of John Bon Jovi singing, oh, wishing on a prayer.
I knew it sounded bad as soon as I did. But really, they have no control over that. But that is a deep... If I was getting this from the Oracle, I'd be like, shit, what do I do? A new name, and I have to find this child Jesus from outside of my universe?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Even more pressure on his shoulders.
And how's he supposed to be the one to find it? You know? I'd be so confused.
Everyone just dumps their problems on Atreyu.
And again, does not ask the Arin. Does not ask the thing that's supposed to guide him at all. Doesn't even consult it once.
I feel like the Oracle could have just told the guy in the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I said that already.
Yes.
I really want to bring that point back.
I was also wondering, this was just a passing thought that I put in my notes, was I don't know if you know this, but all the very big things, like the rock guy, Morla, the dog, Juklagan, or Falcor, or whatever, they all talk so slow. And I'm like, is it, when you get a certain size, is it harder to perform physical tasks or to speak?
You got a bigger mouth.
And so you just sort of slow down
and it's hard to do the puppetry. It's hard to open and close that mouth. It's just really, really difficult.
Too. You can only go as fast as the little arms can open up the mouth. Because I was like, why?
But that's how it is in every movie.
Big?
The bigger it is, it's like you talk really slow. It's like basic physics.
I just want a big manic luck dragon.
A big gacked out luck dragon, just freaking out, talking so fast.
Hey, I picked you up. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go over there. You have fun in my skin. Can you go scratch my ear?
Just winking his one eye.
He's just so gacked out. That would be the best.
I just think that'd be a little more exciting, but that's just me. So after Atreyu meets with the Southern Oracle,
Gets a bunch of info that he has no idea what to do with.
he hops on Falcor's back. And so Falcor's like, I'll take you wherever you need to go. And Atreyu's like, great, because I need to find the edge of Fantasia. And Falcor's like,
I have no idea.
bad
Back up,
news.
back
Don't
up.
know where the edge of
And then he
Fantasia
winks.
is.
Then he gives him a wink, and he's like, so you do know. No, I don't. Falcor, you're winking. So you do know where the edge of Fantasia is. I do not.
I have no idea where the
He's like,
Fantasia
dude, Falcor,
border
I still don't know
is.
what the winking thing. Come on.
So, yeah, he says, I don't have any idea. I'm so sorry. I thought I could take you anywhere, but apparently I can't. So then a storm comes, blows them out of the air, and Atreyu all of a sudden wakes up on a beach, and Falcor
And we
is
also
nowhere
jump
to
back
be
into
found.
Bastion's world, and the storm is getting worse and worse.
That's correct.
But he's
There's
still
a-
at the school with
Mhm,
more candles. Every time it cuts back to him, the room gets more and more
Yes.
extravagant.
More skulls, more spider
Yeah.
webs, more scary.
He's been there for
Yes.
40 years.
more taxidermied animals watching him.
I love it, but there's also a really big storm. And Bastion, he's so dying to see to get to the end of the story that he does not even care that his life is in danger.
No, he does not. He does
So then
not
we
care.
go back to Fantasia, and that's when we see Atreyu wake up on a big old rocky beach.
So he wakes up and it's like, it looks kind of like a hurricane is coming. Like everything's
Scary.
blowing. It's like a hurricane and an earthquake are happening at the same time.
Like when we were in Mexico.
So scary. So scary. So we meet the rock guy again. So the rock guy from the beginning that
he's
was
given up on
steamrolling
it.
through the woods, he's
just done.
oh my God. He's so sad. He's sitting there and he's like,
They look like big, good, strong hands, don't they? I always thought that's what they were. Ah, my little friends. The little man with his racing snail, the nighthawk, even the stupid bat. I couldn't hold on to them. The nothing pulled them right out of my hands. I failed.
All the guys at the beginning, dead.
even that
Dead
stupid
as
bat. And
freak.
I'm like,
Even the
do you
bat.
need to insult the bat even?
Teeny the bat. He's
Teeny
like, I
weeny
couldn't
nighthawk in the
protect
bat. And he's like, I thought my hands were big enough.
It's another
Yeah, he's
emotionally
so
overwhelming
sad.
scene.
He's just sitting
so
there.
sad.
So he says, like, I thought my hands were big enough. I thought I could protect them. I couldn't. They got away from me. And he's like, so I'm just going to sit here and let the nothing get me too.
He's done.
And
He's got some major
he's
Morla energy.
over it.
He's got some more than energy, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm kind of here for it. What would you do? I would do that too. Because
Yeah,
it's like
Sydney,
everything's
yeah.
hanging on Oracle, new name, little boy, outer world, Jesus.
He's like, could you just point me in the way of the swamp of sadness?
Yeah, I would honestly do the same thing. I'd be like, yep, time to accept my fate.
There is like a nihilist quality of just being like, you know what?
But you can't do that if you're a hero. That's not what Atreyu does.
So he's walking up through these, like on this beach, there's like these ruins. It looks kind of like ancient Roman ruins. This earthquake is happening. The storm is still blowing. And then you see all these like paintings on the walls of the ruins of his own journey.
Wow.
And you're like, what is
Wow.
happening?
It's a never-ending
Where
story.
is he?
The story never ends. It's starting over.
It's starting where it's ended.
All of a sudden, this part is scary even as a
Oh,
grown
yeah.
up watching
Gamork
this
is
part.
terrifying.
He comes up to this like cave. The world is rumbling, and Gamork is sitting in a cave. He's like this black wolf with the scariest teeth
Beautiful
and glowing green
Beautiful,
eyes,
gorgeous eyes.
the scariest voice, and he goes,
If you come any closer, I will rip you to shreds.
"Come any closer, and I'll rip you to shreds."
And Atreyu's like, fine. At this point, just do it. I don't care anymore. Rip me to shreds.
It's like, okay, at this point, whatever.
Just make it quick. So Gamork is going to deliver the news to Atreyu that, guess what, friend?
Fantasia has no boundaries.
You're lying.
Foolish boy. Don't you know anything about Fantasia? It's the world of human fantasy. Every part, every creature of it
we're all in a simulation and you're not real and none of this is real.
Wow. Oh boy. Atreyu's just blown away. He's just like, okay, wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, geez.
Okay, Gamork, reel it in. My mind is blown.
He's like, red pill, green pill. What do you want to do, Atreyu?
Turns into the Matrix, totally.
This is the original Matrix.
He does that's too much for
so
a kid to take
true.
on. I'm sorry. The more we're talking about it, the more I feel bad for Atreyu. He's got a lot of shit to think about.
It's so much. So he goes like, none of this is real. You only live in the imagination of some kid outside of Fantasia. And he's creating all of this and there's no hope. And
People who have no hopes are easy to control. And whoever has the control has the power.
He seems to know what's going on.
Gamork, you should write a science journal, buddy.
Is on top of it. He knows what's going on.
He really does.
he says, I am a servant of the power behind the nothing. And a long time ago, I lost the person I was tracking in the swamp. And then Atreyu is like,
We're about to die anyway. I'd rather die fighting. Come for me, Gmork. I am Atreyu.
guess what? You're not so smart now because I'm the person you were tracking in the swamp. I'm Atreyu.
Shit. He's like, I did see you, because Gamork
Yep.
did almost eat Atreyu, and you'd think that he would have known what he looked
Yes.
like at this point.
Yes. I guess he just retreated to the little cave as soon as
I
he
know,
lost
he's like,
him in
"Bye."
the swamp. He's like, well, you know what? I'm just going to go hang out in this cave for a while.
If he's tracking him, wouldn't he know
That's what
who
I would
he
think.
is? You know, or smells like, or
That's
something?
what I
What is
was
it?
saying.
Right? And then he's like, oh, it's you? Oh, shit.
Like, for Atreyu to make the big reveal.
He's a wolf.
yeah.
You know?
Wow, we're both blowing each other's minds right now. Because he would.
That was
How would he know?
also my thought. I was like, you've been tracking him and you are genuinely surprised when he tells you he's Atreyu. And I'm like, that's your whole job, though. Like, your whole job.
Well, in that
was
moment,
following
when he
this
says
kid.
that, when he's like, by the way, I'm the one you're tracking, Gamork loses it and it's like, fuck, I gotta kill you. Just right away.
Yes.
Fuck, I'm
yes.
gonna kill you. Jumps out.
He's like,
leaps
I've been
out.
spending way too much time telling you all the secrets of the universe. You gotta die.
I know. I didn't realize you were the one that shouldn't know this information. Leaps out of the cave. And this is when Atreyu shows his true hero self. He stabs freaking Gamork. Dead, dead, dead.
Yeah, he stabs him to death. It is bloody. It is bleak. It was intense.
And I'm also
It's
thinking, like, yeah, Gamork was just like a regular sized dog. How is he the darkness bringer? I don't get it.
Well, no, he was like a big dog. He was.
He was a big dog.
He was like a big dog. Big
But you would think that he would definitely be able to. Wait, I thought Atreyu didn't have any weapons.
Oh, yeah, he has no weapons.
What I think he does is grabs like one of the ruins that's nearby because it's like something that's white. And then, yeah, because I had that same thought, but I know for sure he stabs him and he's bleeding. So he finds something to stab him with. So
Maybe all those dead people at the that try to pass through
yeah,
the
through the oracle, he's probably like, I just need to snag a little sword or something.
or a sharp bone.
All right, so Atreyu's had a trip. He kills Gamork like that, boom, which I feel like Gamork should have put up a little bit more of a fight.
Gamork's probably done
yeah,
too.
he's done too. He actually just wanted to die.
He's like,
Yeah.
actually,
He's like, I'm done
done.
with this harboring darkness stuff. So right at that moment, Falcor picks him up. And you guys, at this point, the whole freaking Fantasia world is gone.
That was the end of Fantasia. Only a few fragments of this once rich and beautiful world had been left by the nothing.
Like
Yeah.
the hurricane, the nothingness has eaten everything. It's depressing. Really depressing.
right.
And this is when the moment that Atreyu decides to use his necklace.
Yeah.
Oh
they're
my
floating through-
gosh.
At
They're
this point,
floating
he's
through.
like, hey, maybe I should use this thing that was supposed to guide me.
Yeah, the nothingness of space surrounds them. He's on Falcor being like, do you see anything? No. Do you see anything? No. Just absolutely
It is.
bleak.
It's like
And then
chunks
he's
of
like-
rock, just like space rock.
Yes.
It's so sad.
He's like, oh yeah, I have this Orin that's supposed to guide me. Maybe I'll ask that. And I'm like, you could have done that a million times, but whatever. So it guides them to the ivory tower. the ivory tower is the last thing and the only thing from Fantasia that it still exists. And it's not going to exist for very much longer, mind you.
Oh, it's
just
out the door. It's like slowly breaking apart.
Yes.
And we're back in
Yes.
Bastion's world, by the way, with the storm, and he's bawling his eyes out. He's so traumatized from this book because he's like, this whole world's broken.
Really, really sad. I also felt like the Empress did not look sick, but that was just me.
Yeah, she
was
very
in full
healthy,
glam makeup.
beautiful makeup. She had really nice shadowing. Was some nuts. And that little headpiece with the pearl.
The little
Love
pearl.
it,
I think
love the
everybody
pearl.
wanted that little baby pearl.
I still want one.
I
Yes.
do too.
Yes. It was gorgeous. She had a beautiful headpiece. It was amazing. So she also explains further upon Gamork's revelations that this is a simulation and none of this is real.
He is very close, listening to every word we say. What? If he's so close, why doesn't he arrive? He doesn't realize he's already a part of the Neverending Story. The Neverending Story? What's that? Just as he is sharing all your adventures, others are sharing his. They were with him when he hid from the boys in the bookstore. But that's impossible! They were with him when he took the book with the Orin symbol on the cover, in which he's reading his own story right now.
She's explaining to Atreyu, which is such a giant concept.
It's full multiverse.
That's what I was
pure
saying. I
Sims.
wrote it in my notes. I was like, she's literally like talking to him about quantum physics and multiverses, and it's so intense.
It's true.
It's so intense.
True, though.
And I
It's
don't
freaking true.
think I remember that being that intense.
You never
but
die.
whatever.
Quantum immortality. Never
They just
happens.
proved it.
Just proved it. Quantum immortality.
Yes, it's part of my scientific paper.
I've been reading Snaggletooth's scientific papers, and he taught me about it.
I've been watching TikTok. So,
Yeah, same thing. At this point in the now that he's learning about quantum physics and simulation,
Right.
so Bastion's crying and he's yelling. He's like, I gotta, like, she says, you have to give me a new name from this person. And Bastion's like making the connection, like, wait, can they hear me? Because they actually do
Right.
hear him because quantum physics and
Yes.
multiverse.
Yes.
He starts yelling, screaming into the book, and they're like, dude, we can hear you. And remember, okay, my favorite thing is when they make this connection, because basically Bastion figures out that he can give him a name and saves the whole thing. But right before that, when Bastion figures out that they can hear him, his little face, his whole world is blown to Smith. Do you remember he was just like, for 20 minutes, the most intense look, Bastion's face, the little actor kid.
And they keep cutting back and forth, and he keeps going like, "It can't be me."
Oh, I know. It took him a long time to
me.
figure that out.
And
It's like,
so
Bastion, come
I'm
on.
like,
At this point, we got a world to save, bud.
just-
It's you. It's you. Let's go. Give a new name. Just pick a name.
commit.
He's like, Sheila. Sheila Gorgmar. The sickest name. Karen Esophagus. The sickest name. But he does give them a new name.
Yeah, so he finally shouts out. He goes up to the beautiful attic window that has no glass in it as the hurricane's blowing in, and he says, "Moonchild."
Oh, come on. Bastion, you could have gone with Karen the manager. Good for him, though. They're like, Bastion, something a little bit more traditional. Not fucking Moonchild.
Atreyu's like,
This fucking kid gave me this name. He almost died in an attic reading the book.
all of a sudden, the whole world goes dark. Everything goes dark. And all of a sudden, Bastion and Moonchild are standing alone in the nothingness. And he's like, why is it so dark? And she's like,
In the beginning, it is always dark.
there's only one grain of sand.
Freaking never-ending
And so
freaking
from this
story.
one,
Starts again.
yeah. So she's explaining that all of everybody's interconnected all of the time, and your story is my story, and what I'm thinking is a whole world, and what you're thinking is a whole world, and everybody is constantly creating like limitless worlds. So she's like, now you can wish for whatever you
A
want.
mom that loves me and a dad that loves me. A mom and dad and people that
know.
care about me. She's like, oh, Bastion, that's not what, Bastion, that's not what I meant. That's
You
not
don't
what I
want to be
meant.
thrown in the trash.
He also turns pure evil. Well, Gamork was kind of
It's like,
cool. Have him
well,
kill
it's not going
everyone.
to go that way. She says the more wishes, the better. You have unlimited wishes, and everything gets bigger
That
and
sounds
better
like
the
a
more you
nightmare.
wish. Okay,
That sounds
so
like
this
a
is where it
bad.
ends.
That sounds like a beginning to a bad story. I know. That's what I mean. It's going to get one thing. He's just going to keep wishing, wishing, wishing. It's never going to be better.
This is kind of my beef with the ending of this, right? You are learning.
Why do you keep
this,
saying beef? You are loving beef today.
Did I say beef?
She said
Did
beef. I got some beef with her. I know she's got so much beef. You've been like, I've got some beef with this. I've got beef with the tray. Or I've got beef with Morla. I'm like, Katie, beef. So much beef.
So funny because I've not even noticed that I've said beef once. That's the funny part.
You've been
I
loving the
thought
beef.
I thought that was the first time I said it.
No, it's like the third, fourth time
Do
you've said
you
beef.
remember how much you used to say meat and potatoes, though? And it would drive me nuts because you would be like, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
But I did say meat and potatoes. I'd always say, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
I would be like, you gotta stop saying meat and potatoes.
Potatoes. Not potatoes. Hell no, I'm not going to enunciate that. Meat and potatoes.
I didn't. Yeah, I genuinely did not even realize I said it before that moment. That's what's funny.
So what's your beef?
Well, my beef is that we've gone through this, she's explaining to him the interconnectedness of every universe and every psyche and every person and every
He passes
soul.
out.
And she's like, now what do you want to wish for? And then he wishes, all of a sudden you see him on the back of Falkor. They're flying through an alleyway and they're chasing his bullies into a trash can. And that's how the movie ends. And I'm like,
Bastion, did we not learn anything?
Did you not learn anything?
I mean, we would all do it. I mean, let's be real. Let's kill him. He just goes pure 180.
So intense. And I'm like, this feels like a really
Moonchild's
progressive way to end this.
Like something within reason, like something good.
I thought you meant something beautiful, but chasing bullies into a dumpster doesn't feel like a higher purpose. But I guess I did say
I know, after the
so.
biggest quantum physics conversation ever, that's what his child brain, his dumb child, lonely brain, goes straight to bully.
He's like, revenge.
Yeah, does the rest of the world see of him? Are they going to try to kill him because he's different, because he's riding a dog dragon?
After all of that intricacy of the Matrix, they just say okay, well, he got on Falkor's back. They had lots of adventures and it's over. So they really do brush past that real quick. But I was curious if anybody else in the real world, in Bastion's world, was seeing any of that was
If he was in America, they would have shot the dog down for sure. They would have shot the dog down, shot the kid, just been monsters to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So he does get to go through Fantasia. He
sold them
on eBay, the black market. They're like, remember
the black
that
market? You want some dog dragon scale? Oh no!
But yeah, so it doesn't give you any details. But maybe that's what Neverending 2 story is. You do get,
or Neverending Story 2.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Neverending 2 story. That doesn't make any sense.
Neverending story 2. That's my beef with movie titles. Is they don't.
You know what my beef with the way you talk about movie titles is that the number comes last always. I kind of do want to watch Neverending Story 2, though. I just want to see a little bit of it. Obviously, it didn't do as well as number 1, but...
No, but I feel like it would be interesting to know where they go with that
It's just
story.
Bastion on Falkor destroying the world.
He just becomes a
He's
dictator
just riding his
flying
dog
around.
with just shooting fire arrows at every bully in the world.
He's got one of those Sphinx lasers and he's just zapping everybody left and right.
He goes and enslaves the Sphinxes and brings them into the real world. And
he's like, it's
becomes
too much power, too much power. I wished for too much. And he just becomes absolutely crazed.
Snaggletooth is just his loyal minion.
Yeah, I was hoping to see the bookkeeper again at the end of the movie, any reference to him whatsoever. Even him watching Falkor fly over or something and being like, hey, that's what I knew would happen.
He was gone. They don't need him anymore. Stole that book. Yeah. Gone. The movie ends with him flying on Falkor, throwing the kids in the trash.
Yep.
Yeah, his dad doesn't give a fuck. All right, so that's the Neverending Story.
So thank you for joining us. We hope you know that we adore this story. We adore this movie. We see all the beautiful symbols in it, but also it's a wild ride. And we just wanted to take it for a ride.
We don't have any beef with this movie. We have the opposite of beef with this movie. We love it.
Honk, honk.
We love it.
Honk, honk. Bye.
Bye.